My name is Mercy Kagweri. I head a business unit called Consumer Banking. It's what takes care of diaspora banking. I know a lot of you have heard about Rona. Rona, please, Rona, just stand up. That's part of my team. So that's Rona. She's called Miss Diaspora. In other words, we've got the head of customer experience. She's here to make sure that you're all happy. Rehab, that's the head of customer experience in NCBA. And we've got other colleagues. We've got a relationship team. Seated there, we've got Mercy, who's also a senior manager within customer experience. And we've also got our head of SME, because there's a lot of conversations I've had around how do we support SMEs. And we've got Susan Dungu. I'm already getting concerned. We might be accused of not having a gender balance. He was just going to say that. And then we've got the relationship team at the corner there, senior relationship managers that take care of diaspora customers and so on, remittance managers, because we are big on remittances. And therefore, very briefly, please allow me to say, as NCBA, how intentional we are about diaspora customers. This year only, we've gone to different parts of the world to reach out to our customers who are in the diaspora, Kenyans, potential customers. We've been to the States, 8 states in the US, as NCBA, on the ground, okay? We've been to the Gulf, 3 countries. I had my inaugural visit to Saudi, and I had the culture shock. Professor Mwenja was talking about reverse culture shock. As a Christian lady, I had a serious culture shock in Riyadh, Saudi. And we've been to Qatar, we've been to Dubai. We've also been to Australia, and we've done 3 cities in Australia. I just thought I need to start there so that you can know how serious we are with diaspora. We're very intentional about reaching out to customers in the diaspora. Our solutions speak to it. Our partnerships speak to it. Tyra's, who heads retail business and who happens to be my boss, was here earlier talking about how we view diaspora as a customer. So let me say this. Our strategy revolves around looking at diasporian, okay? I know it's not an English word. Diasporian, not as an event, not as an occurrence, but as a journey, okay? So first of all, you're transitioning to the diaspora, and therefore you're new to the diaspora. And what then we have done as NCBA is craft partnerships and solutions that speak to your need as you transition to the diaspora. And therefore, State Department for Diaspora Affairs become then our key partner. We are speaking to the Global Labor Migration Strategy. We are also speaking to a lot of recruitment agents, both locally and foreign-based. And therefore, we're also financing relocation as part of our strategy. And therefore, that's when you're moving to diaspora. And then when you're in the diaspora, which is the second phase of the journey or of the cycle, then we're speaking to remittances. I know the strategy we are discussing today talks about beyond remittances, but remittances is really at the core of it, isn't it? And Balozi Helen spoke to that. So what are we doing as NCBA? We are introducing a very innovative e-commerce platform that goes beyond remittances, okay? We are providing a unified solution for seamless transactions, whether it is savings, investments, or insurance product. And I know that's a challenge that has been thrown here by a couple of speakers. The platform that we are just about to launch as NCBA also has got very unique features around digital onboarding. How do we make it easy for a customer to onboard to NCBA? It's got market linkages. We want you to be able to align and have conversations and have a transaction going with Unity Homes, as an example, through your bank. And that's what market linkages are about. Incentive programs, investment solutions, and the list goes on and on. But let me also quickly speak to, so you're in the diaspora, you're remitting, what else can we do for you as NCBA? We've got, and this, again, let me speak to a lot of people who are out there, who are diaspora customers, who are not necessarily here, they probably logged in online. We've got something we call Easy Build, okay? And what then we have done is partnered with a lot of technical experts. Those are lawyers, contractors, quantity surveyors, name them, everybody involved in the chain of real estate. We've created consortiums that we can be able to support you as a customer who's based in Australia or Canada and be able to create a real estate investment for you back home. And because trust is a big issue in the diaspora, I'm sure you can trust your bank, right? And therefore we call it Easy Build. Rona and team will tell you we've handed over keys to our diaspora customers who've never seen that building physically. Okay, I had stories of being conned, like I said, I've been around UK and so on, and I've had very horror stories about what this guy did to me, what my relative did, what my friend did, and so on. So as NCBA, we are there to bridge that gap and make sure that we can create a property using our partnerships without you necessarily being on the ground. Lastly, then, we complete the cycle by saying most of the people that we meet there, and I'm sure it's the reason we're having the forum today, wish to come back home. And therefore, we are calling you returnees. And therefore, when Chamoda, I heard you're having a returnees forum, I said, who stole whose strategy? Okay, because that was really at the core of our strategy as a cycle. And we say, then how do we meet the needs of a diaspora customer who wants to reintegrate back and continue to contribute to the economy of the country? How do we make sure that we can help you settle back? I heard about all the stages of reverse culture shocks and so on. How do we make sure that we support your needs, all right? We've got SME, like I said, Susan is here. If you want to set up your business, as an example, how do we support you as NCBA back home? Asset finance, I don't know, as I close, because I know my time is very limited. I don't know whether you know this, but on the Kenyan roads, let me use the famous words of Mr. John Gashora, who happens to be our fearless leader and GMD. He keeps saying, when you drive on Kenyan roads and there are 5 cars, please note, 2 of those cars have been financed by NCBA, because we are the ultimate leaders in asset finance. So whether you want to set up a logistics business, whether you want to finance your medical equipment and so on and so forth, all those are assets that can be financed by NCBA. As I close, ladies and gentlemen, I have also heard about areas that we can collaborate better, that we can explore. I've heard about second generation Kenyans. I have personally met them, especially in the United States, as we did our diaspora tours. I've heard about the trust funds. I think Mr. Kunga is very passionate about it, because we had a conversation over tea, and I was telling him banks and commercial and financial institutions need to actually bridge that gap, not necessarily the government. I've heard about diaspora bonds. I mean, those are all solutions that we're ready to partner with, to partner in creating and developing as a bank. Partnerships, and more partnerships. As you settle back as a returnee and welcome back home, please make sure that you talk to as many as you can, whether it's a bank, whether it's a real estate company, whether it's your fellow returnee, and see how do you collaborate to make your life easier? How do you collaborate to grow your business? How do you exchange ideas? And I believe that's the essence of knowledge transfers and skills back home. So we're really looking forward to many, many of these forums. This is one among the many, and let's go for it, as NCBA says. Asanteni sana.